Hi there, and yep, today I am going there. So I was born into the Jehovah's Witness organization or religion. My mother got baptized when I was just born. So basically my whole life up until when I left was within this religion. And just a bit of background information into before I get into why I left. I just want to talk a little bit about my upbringing within this religion. It was a normal upbringing for any person who's within this religion, but of course, as someone who would look in from the outside, it was a very weird upbringing. So I had no birthday celebrations, no Christmas. I had very limited interaction with people outside of the religion. The only thing that helped me in having more than the average Jehovah's Witness child interaction with people outside is through my siblings. So my older siblings were not part of the religion, and through them I was able to secretly celebrate birthdays and go to let me see, parties that I wasn't supposed to go to, but that did not happen a lot. It definitely didn't happen a lot. And I got baptized at the age of 15. So I did everything. I preached to people, I went door to door, I had Bible studies where I would teach people the Bible. I would do talks or give talks, which is like presentations in front of the whole congregation, where essentially we would train and see how we would tackle certain questions when we are going door to door to preach to people. So I did that. I basically did everything. I even did, I think it's called part-time pioneering. I'm not sure what it's called exactly, but essentially it's when you would say, okay, for the month of June or the month of May, I'm going to report a certain amount of hours. You're given that figure, and it's called part-time pioneering, where for a certain period you are going to reach the target that you're given of hours that you need to cover. So those hours are when you go and preach to people and teach them about God and the Bible and the religion's books or publications, where you would use them. So that was called field service, and I just can't remember the exact figure, but you would have to reach, for example, like 75 hours within a month. So as a part-time pioneer, you would have to do it part-time, but there's people who did it actually full-time as well, where they didn't really have a job, or if they did have a job, it was a part-time job, and they mostly just preached the word of God or the Bible. So even when I was young in this religion, I always felt a bit off. I felt like I didn't belong here and something is wrong. But I always thought something was wrong with me, because when people would say, wow, today's service, today's talk, and that talk which would be when a church leader, an elder, or a ministerial servant, I think. I'm gonna get the title so wrong because I have been out for a very long while, and I was in a Setswana congregation. So Setswana or Sesotho, I can't even remember now, but so there were certain words or names I only know in Setswana or Sesotho, and I can't really translate them into English, because for English there's like specific words as well. So for those who are still within the religion, I'm sorry, I'm getting it wrong, my bad. Anyways, for those who've left, no one cares, so let's move on. So I was, an elder would give a talk, or I don't know, some random man would give a talk, and I just couldn't relate to the messaging. People would, like, on a Sunday or whenever, say, oh my gosh, the messaging was so touching today, you know, we just really needed this message right now. God truly provides his servants with food at the right time. And to me, that just never really made sense, because of, I just didn't relate, to be honest. When I was young, we used to dedicate a lot of our time to this organization. I remember there was a point where we would go to meetings on a Tuesday, a Thursday. So that's like an example would be like church services. So we'd have them on a Tuesday, a Thursday, and then Saturday it was field service where you would go and preach out to people, and then Sunday it was again church service, and then again preach to people. So a lot of our time was really dedicated to this organization. And then later on it got revised, and then we only went in on a Thursday and a Sunday, and that's when we had to go for like our meetings, where a lot of our training, where you would be taught about doctrines, changes taking place within the organization. That's where you would get taught all of that. So my life was normal, as explained, as a person within the religion, but I didn't feel 100% comfortable with it, and I never felt like I belonged. I just didn't understand. I always felt like I stood out in terms of I was a little bit too rebellious, but at the same time I was a very obedient child. So I didn't do anything too rebellious or things that people knew of, but I really tried to have a good reputation when I was still within the religion. But deep down inside, I definitely was not happy. I didn't understand what was going on. There were so many changes constantly, and just a lot of things to learn, essentially. You know, it was just too much for me. But anyways, while I was still in the religion, and as I was growing up, I started to date outside of the religion. I can't remember when I did this, but like I think I was maybe 15, 16, right around there. I'm not sure. Oh, 17. I'm not sure, honestly. But it wasn't like serious dating, you know. It was just like, wow. Actually, it was 17, yes. So I started dating when I was like 17, and my first boyfriend was actually within the church, but he would turn out to be the person who actually lifted the veil for me about this religion and the things that are actually going on. But at the time, I just was not ready. I really wasn't ready to accept what this person was telling me. Eventually we broke up, and I was seeing other people within the religion and outside of the religion. But in 2016, when I had like my first proper serious relationship, that's when I started to see like, okay, things are a bit problematic here. When my boyfriend at the time would be surprised as to how I would reason about certain things, or how I didn't want to partake in certain things, not because of I didn't want to, but because of I was told not to. And essentially I was like living a double life, you know. And he even pointed it out that, wow, you've got a life at church and a life with me. And that's when I really realized for the first time that, wow, maybe this is not for me. And at that time I just graduated from university as well. So just to backtrack a little bit, this religion doesn't really, this organization doesn't really encourage people to pursue higher education. So essentially you're just supposed to have education up until high school, and then learn a certain skill so that you can just survive, but essentially dedicate a good portion of your time to preaching the word of God and expanding the organization's reach and reaching more people and recruiting more people into the organization. So the reason that they don't want people to pursue higher education is that higher education allows for you to start to really critically think about things, unlike high school where you're taught this is how a certain thing works, or this is like a formula, you have to follow it when you're doing I don't know, math equations, or you know, just something like that. In university, college, wherever, you are given a certain topic, you need to explore it, unpack it, do your own research, so you really learn to critically think for yourself. So in 2016, when I'm realizing, okay, you know, I've been dating in and out of this religion or organization, I don't feel comfortable, and here I am seeing someone and they're pointing out certain things to me. Maybe it's time I really learned more about what's really going on here and not just take things at face value. So I waited a little bit before I really did my research, because of something within myself told me that, you know what, I'm going to leave. But I wanted to do my research first, and I told myself, if I do end up leaving, I'm not going to leave because of a man. I want to leave on my own, because if I leave because of a man, if I leave this religion or organization, I might turn back if things don't work out with this person. So I wanted to leave on my own and be sure this is what I really wanted. So I did my own research, you know, and as I'm doing my own research, I'm really like putting 2 and 2 together, like, wow, okay, that's why I got so annoyed at this, that's why I didn't like this. And yeah, so between 2016 and 2017, I was still attending meetings, but I was very disconnected, very disconnected, and I really like felt like I just didn't belong. And an incident took place in 2016, I think, or 2017, or it could even be 2015. I can't remember, because at the time I was single and there was a guy within the religion who actually liked me, but he wasn't baptized and I was. And when you are in the organization, if someone is not baptized, meaning they don't identify, even if they do identify as a Jehovah's Witness, if they're not baptized, then they technically are not a Jehovah's Witness. So if you're baptized, you can't date someone who's not baptized, because of you are dating with the intention of getting married, and you can't marry someone who's not part of the religion. So there was this guy who liked me and I just didn't like him back. I wanted to be friends with him, but there was another girl who used to be my friend actually who liked him. She wasn't baptized at the time, so she just stopped talking to me because of this guy took me out once. It wasn't even a real date, because of it was me, him, and another female friend. We literally just went out for lunch, and people within the religion, within the organization or within our congregation found out. I don't know how, and a rumor got spread around that I was dating this guy, and it wasn't even true, you know. So that really upset me, because of I really wanted to confront these people, but my mother kept saying, take the high road, you know, people of God, don't fight, or whatever. I can't even remember what her reasoning was, but I was just so upset because of literally this girl and her mom just stopped talking to me. They literally just stopped talking to me because of this guy took me out, and their daughter, or the daughter who was my friend, liked this guy, and this guy didn't like her back. You know, some weird story, I know, but things like that actually happen within the religion, because of the dating pool is just so small. It really annoyed me, because of you would find the most amazing people having to really settle for the most basic people, because of just how many people they were within your circle, or people who you could date within your age group and things like that. And it led to people marrying when they were very young, because of course you can't have sex outside of marriage, so people would just get married just to have sex and do it very young. You would find people dating people with anger issues, people with unresolved trauma issues, people who were very abusive, just a lot of issues because of the dating pool is just so small. You just take whatever it is that you can get, and the older you get, the harder it is to meet someone. So I couldn't meet people who I really clicked with. I just had to take what I could get. And if you found someone amazing, girl or boy, just know that you're gonna fight with someone over that person. For real. Like, things like that really happen. This is so actually dumb when you think about it, because there's like 7 billion people on the planet, and like you are out here fighting over a guy just because of he's employed, he's got a nice job, and he's within the religion, and he seems spiritual because of he does certain duties within the organization, and he dresses nicely. Like, the qualities that were required for someone to seem very eligible was just so low. But anyways, back to when I was leaving. So between 2016 and 2017, I was just doing research and really learning about this organization truly, and the origins and how it came about. And a lot of things came up. Like, literally, if you just do a simple Google search, you will just find so many things. Like, even on Wikipedia, you can learn about just the failed prophecies or failed predictions from the organization, purely simply just on Wikipedia. My hands are so dry. Let me just put on a bit of lotion because I've been talking. So yeah, there's just a lot of things you can just simply find on the internet if you just do a simple Google search. And of course, the religion really discourages this. Like, if you're gonna do research about anything within the religion and you're still within it, you are only supposed to use documents from the religion. So you can't use Google, you can't use anything other than their website and their actual physical publications to do research. And that's when I was like, there's a problem here. Like, a red flag already just was like flying and just flapping in the wind for me, because why should I only use your publications to do my research? When you do research in school, anywhere else, you use different sources. You are even required to use different sources to make your argument. And yet here are these people who are saying, no, you are just supposed to use our sources. So anyways, into the reasons as to why I decided to leave. First of all, an easy one that's easy to see is just how women are seen within the organization, how they are not respected, and how they are undermined. Women are seen as these fragile beings who can't think for themselves, who need the direction of men. Men who are just so pathetic at times. And I'm not calling every man within this religion pathetic, definitely not. But I'm saying some men can't even lead themselves, but yet they are expected to lead women because of just on the basis that they are a man. So for me, they are so problematic because I can think for myself. I do believe that I'm smarter than some men. I would love to be with a man who's just as smart as me, if not smarter, but I want to be valued, I want to be heard, and my opinions are valid. I can lead, I can be a leader, and within the organization, women can't lead. The highest position that you can hold is if you're married to a circuit overseer, and a circuit overseer is someone who, okay, well, it's gonna get a bit technical, but they are different congregations, and those congregations are put into, what's it called again? They are put into a circuit, and then a circuit overseer is one person who oversees all of those different congregations. So on a weekly basis they rotate and go to a different congregation and just see if people within the congregation are doing well, if they are preaching, if there's any issues that need to be resolved, stuff like that. So if you're a wife to such a man, then you really hold a high position, but you only hold that position in terms of your husband. It's not even a real position. So for me, that was just like, wow, all I can do is marry a man and hope that he becomes someone important, and then I will become someone important as well. So that was just, yeah. Secondly, there's a rule called the 2-witness rule, and when I was still a true believer, I did not even know about this rule. This rule essentially says that you can only when you've got let me give an example. If you are violated and you say, oh my god, and you say, okay, I've been violated by this certain person, and you bring this person or you bring this issue to the elders will require 2 witnesses to account for that action or for that violation. Other than that, they can't do anything. So people who've been violated within the organization have had to like produce 2 witnesses, and obviously you can't, because of it's you and the perpetrator, who will probably deny that they did anything to you. And even when they did admit guilt, the elders never report this. They never report this to the authorities. There's literally a Bible verse that they have interpreted that Bible verse as in, you are not allowed to have an issue with someone within the organization and then report it to the authorities. You're not allowed to do that. Literally, you get taught that. And you would think like these rules are just so simple and just so bizarre that people wouldn't follow them, but people follow them to the T. Like, people follow these rules. And then the leadership is a whole nother problem on its own. As mentioned, it's men who actually don't even know how to lead themselves that are responsible now to lead a whole congregation. And if you were to do something wrong, like maybe fornicate, or you are caught dating someone, or you're caught smoking or being drunk, you will have to go to the elders and then report yourself, or someone will report you. And people really get encouraged to report other people. Like, please, if you see someone doing something wrong, you better tell on them. That is very encouraged. And you will approach the elders and they will try to help you through the problems, you know. And it's so sad that some of these elders are hiding these problems that they are trying to help you with. So someone will try to help you recover being an alcoholic and they're not even qualified for that. They will help you to try to recover. At the same time, they're an alcoholic themselves. Or there's people who will like reprimand you for fornicating, but at the same time they are actually fornicating themselves, or even cheating on their spouses. And when you report like fornication, oh my word, that's problematic on so many levels, because of they ask you very intrusive questions. Like, we'll ask you, where did you touch each other? Did you enjoy it? How many times did this person ejaculate? Did they ejaculate inside of you? Did the ejaculation touch you? Did you give them pleasure? Did you receive pleasure? Like, the questions are just so intrusive. It's crazy. And it just did not sit well with me. Like, what the hell is going on here? And this is not just common knowledge. You'll only know about this if you've had a friend who's been like reprimanded, or you've been reprimanded yourself. And it's just so embarrassing. Like, the religion really thrives on shaming people and making people feel so small and like they're not good enough, where you constantly need the religion just to better yourself, or the organization just to better yourself and just improve who you are as a person. And you'll never be good. It's always you need to do something more to become even better. So that was a problem for me. So as I'm doing my research, I'm coming across these things, you know, some of these things I've known about, some of these things I'm like learning about, and I'm just like, what the hell? And then there's like failed prophecies after another. Oh my word, this is the most heartbreaking one, because of people have put on hold having children. Some people sold their shares at the time, or their livestock if they had any properties, because they were told that the world is ending soon. This happened in 1887, it happened in 1914, it happened in 1925, it happened in 1975. Don't quote me on these dates. I'll link a video talking about all of these failed prophecies, but these prophecies have failed so many times, where they've claimed that the world was going to end and it didn't. And a lot of people within the church right now, or the religion right now, don't know about these failed prophecies or failed predictions, because of you're not allowed to do research from other sources other than their own publications. And what have they done? They have gotten rid of their old publications, and they only have a select few publications from like back in the day, and then they have more publications on the online platform or their website that's more current. But even still, those publications have a lot of inconsistencies, and it just takes you to do proper research for you just to find them, you know. So something is just so wrong, because of, I believe, if the word of God is just so true and so I can't even think of the right words, but it's just so true and faithful, and just all of these qualities, why would the word of God then fluctuate and change so many times? If this religion has been influenced and directed by God himself, why are there so many changes? Why are there so many inconsistencies? Why do you keep telling people that the light keeps getting brighter? I mean, what light is getting brighter when you keep getting things wrong? You keep changing. So for me, that was just like more reason to be like, I'm out of here. Final nail within the coffin for me was the Royal Commission in Australia. That was such a mind-blowing session, experience. I don't even know what to call it, but essentially a lot of elders or church members, church leaders, were hiding the fact that there were sexual predators within the organization. They were not reporting this to the police, and yet they have noted all of this down when people had approached them and said, I've been violated, this and this had happened, but they never reported it to the police. So all of those victims came forward. There was a trial, and church elders were put on the stand, and even the governing body, one member was put on the stand, and they were lying. They were lying, which was for me like, whoa, this is enough. This is enough. They were lying under oath, under oath. So the governing body is 8 men who are based in New York, and 7 of them are white and 1 of them is black. And these men essentially have a direct link to God apparently, and they are the ones who produce all of the material that people consume, the spiritual material that people consume. They are the ones who make changes to the rules, the doctrines, and just everything. They control this religion. Whatever they say goes. And it's just so crazy how much power these people have, and how they've essentially positioned themselves in such a way that they can control the minds of millions of people. And they've just ruined so many families because of, in this organization, if you do a mistake and you don't repent, or it's deemed like, okay, you need a time out, you get disfellowshipped. And disfellowship means that you get shunned. The religion does not communicate with you anymore, or people within the religion do not communicate with you anymore. Even your own family will have to really limit how much they communicate with you. Even your own parents, your children, your spouse, they will shun you. So people have committed suicide from this. People have lost so many loved ones from this. And it keeps going on till today. Within the Royal Commission, this was still spoken about, and that I will definitely link it down. Like, it was just so heartbreaking to see these men lie, and just how many lives have been ruined because of this. So for me, in a nutshell, that's why I've left this religion. Like, men cannot tell me what to do. I am over that. I am so tired of that. I want to direct my own life. I want to make my own decisions. And as a Black person specifically, it is so important to me to surround myself with people who value me, people who respect me, people who understand me, and people who are considerate of my journey and experience. And I say this because of, for example, here in South Africa in 1994, we had, okay, I was just a year old, so obviously not me, but Black people were able to vote for the first time. There's a group of Black people who identified as Jehovah's Witnesses at that time who did not vote. What if those votes were the votes needed for the party that won in 1994, or ANC? What if those votes were the votes that were needed for ANC to win and become the ruling party? So you want to tell me this religion is still okay with Black people being persecuted, being killed, being mistreated, and being discriminated on purely because of their skin color? This religion is okay with that because of they didn't allow people to vote. And before someone is like, yeah, but Jehovah's Witness people do not vote, then no, you are wrong. They don't vote now, but in the 1960s, people in Malawi got killed because of they didn't vote, or they didn't hold a card that they said they are part of a certain party, and people got killed. Their houses were destroyed, they were assaulted, just so many things happened. They were even killed, they were even tortured. While at the same time, in Mexico, young men were being forced to go into the military. So the governing body decided that no, they can actually bribe and get a card that stipulates that they were actually they've already served. I think the card helps them. The card states that they've already served, but they could bribe essentially for it. So these people in Mexico, it was fine for them to bribe the authorities and essentially get this card to help them escape persecution from the authorities, while Black people in Malawi were dying. They were getting killed, and this was taking place right at the same time. So again, just basic research can really just help you see what issues are there within this organization. As a person who is all about Black people and I love Black people, I don't think I can be pro-Black within this organization, because this organization gives me all lives matter vibes, to be honest. It really does. And it doesn't cut it in this day and age. It doesn't cut it. And if you are a person who's considering to join this religion, I hope you do your own research. I hope you truly explore the options that you have, and you really acquaint yourself with the rules and what it means for you to join. If you get baptized, what would happen? Because a lot of things really need to be explored, thought about, because it's a big decision. People have lost their families over this. So in a nutshell, that's my experience why I left. I feel like I was all over the place, but yeah, it's been a long journey. I left in 2017. I remember the last day I went to a meeting, a proper one, and I was still living at home with my parents, and I just told myself, you know what, I'm done. I am so done. I can't do this whole waking up early thing and getting ready to go listen to people talk about something I don't even believe in. So I decided to leave, and I went to the meetings for the last time. I remember I was wearing a pink dress, a blue blazer, and I was like, I'm done, this is it. And I haven't gone back since, and I'm alive, you know. And people who are outside of this religion and just looking at us, people who've gone through it, are probably just thinking, yeah, just leave. Like, why is leaving such a big deal? But it's actually just so difficult to leave because of, first of all, you are brainwashed to believe everything that's being said by your leaders. You are conditioned to believe that all of your friends, the people around you, your family, have to join this religion, and if they don't join, you need to cut them off because of they are not good for you. So when you want to leave, you lose your sense of community because of your families within the religion. You lose your friends, you lose your loved ones, your partner, your children, and then you're alone. So that's why people, when they leave, they become depressed, they become very sad, very lonely because of they've lost their community. Some of them have not obtained a proper education, so they're struggling now to find employment or a good job. So now you're struggling to get a job, you are living alone, probably you've been kicked out from home, or your spouse is not talking to you, your kids are not talking to you. It's just so difficult to leave this religion. And to anyone who's watching this and thinking about leaving, you are doing the right thing, first of all, by truly investigating and seeing if this religion is for you. And the fact that you have doubts means that it's not the right fit for you. And I would really encourage you to do your own research even more if you have started. If not, do your own research and see if this is a good fit for you. But the fact that you're having doubts, I mean, it is what it is, honestly. And then acquaint yourself with people outside of the religion. Find friends who are outside of this religion. Just create a small community for you outside of this religion. It's so difficult, I truly understand that. And even till today, I don't have a lot of friends. I'm struggling to make friends as an adult, but I would not trade this for anything. So try befriending people at work. I wouldn't really encourage this, but just acquainting yourself with people at work. Join a club or a book club, for example, or just date people outside of this religion, you know, like just do anything to get to know people outside of this religion, essentially. And that will help you to truly leave and not come back, because if it's easy to come back when you don't have a community or people outside to talk to and support you. And then I just want to remind you all that you are so worthy as you are as a person. You don't need someone to tell you you are worthy because of you're doing A, B, and C, because of you need to reach a certain point in your life and be this type of person, behave this certain way. As you are worthy, you are enough, you deserve to be loved, and you should just scrap out, ignore the noise outside, you know, because of some of these people within this religion will talk crap about you for leaving, but in actual fact they are jealous of you leaving because of they don't have the guts right now to leave. Everyone is miserable. A lot of the people within this organization are miserable because of there's a lot of gossiping about each other, a lot of judgment on how people are spiritual, what people have, what people do not have, how people behave, how they don't behave. So leaving the toxic environment is just so amazing for you, and people will be like oh my god, she's leaving, he's leaving, but in actual fact they wish they had the guts to leave themselves. So put yourself first and do what's good for you. You will find happiness outside of this religion. There is so much happiness outside of this religion, and the happiness is defined by you. It's not defined by someone else as to you will only be happy if you do 1, 2, or 3. No, you will be happy because of you want to be happy. You will be happy because of certain things that truly make you happy will make you happy, and you will just live your most true and most authentic life, and that will make you happy in itself. You will find love because you are love. As you are, please, on a daily basis, remind yourself that you deserve to be loved as you are. You do not need to change. You do not need to believe in anything else other than yourself. You are loved and you will be loved, or you already found just the greatest love of your life, but you were scared to pursue it because of this person was not within the organization. Pursue that love. Pursue those friendships. Pursue those relationships where you were told you shouldn't do it. Do it. And above everything else, you have the true choice to free will. You can choose if you want to believe in God or not. You can choose how you want to dress. You can choose what you want to eat, what you want to drink. If you want to get a blood transfusion, because people within this organization don't get blood transfusions, like, you can decide for yourself anything and everything. And for me, that is the most important thing of all, having the choice to choose for yourself. I've gone on and on and on, but that's just my story about why I left this religion and the reasons behind it. I've probably left out a few things that have already that pushed me out, but I will link down a few resources that you can go through. I hope it encourages you to leave. My life is just so great right now. I'm really prioritizing what's really important to me. I have true, meaningful relationships that I truly enjoy, where I feel seen and valued for who I am and not for the ideas that people have of me. And it's just so great. I am finding so much joy in not believing in anything and not being forced to believe in anything. I feel like life is just such a great adventure, and I'm exploring it and I'm happy. And that's the whole basis of my channel right now. Me trying out new things that I couldn't try out before because of where I was in my life. Now I'm truly exploring everything. I'm loving it, and I hope you'll enjoy this journey with me. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope you have a beautiful day, and yeah, don't forget to always choose yourself.